My name is Trinity Orosco, and I'm a Franklin County District Court judge. I was born here in Spokane, and my mother is Caucasian, my dad is Latino. At a young age, they were divorced, and so I ended up moving in with my dad. I had my grandparents there as support, so we kind of did it back and forth. It was almost like they had part custody of me because they were there to support me. My dad worked really hard. He had his full-time job, and then he ended up starting a business, so he had a second full-time job. So in order to take care of me and my siblings, my grandma was here a lot. She took me where I needed to go. If she drove, she didn't drive all the time. She made my food and ironed my clothes and made sure that we were cared for. All the breaks, I was with her in Mapton, and that's where their farm is. So we worked on the farm a lot, and we did some agricultural work. She took me whenever she had to go work, so I was also waking up very early in the morning to go pick cherries or apples or whatever it was that was in season that time of year. And then after that, we would go home and eat and then go back to the farm and their personal farm and work there. So there was a lot of working growing up, but there was a lot of love and a lot of time together. Everyone took a hand in raising me. My dad was there when he could be there, and my grandma was there when he couldn't. I came here and I went to school in Kennewick, and I went to Kennewick High School and played volleyball. Did a team sport there. I did a club volleyball team, and my grandma made sure that I made it to most of those games. She also made us all food because that's kind of just, I guess, part of the culture is you feed everybody. So she did a lot of feeding us, and it was wonderful. She was there to support me and kind of take on that motherly role, and I don't think I would be where I'm at without her today. It was a great childhood, but different from everybody else's. And I don't know how to explain it other than to say when you are considered biracial, you're a little bit of both. You get a lot of those questions of what are you? And it's kind of an odd question to be asked, I think. But it was something that I was asked quite often. And seeing my grandparents and knowing that, I was theirs. I didn't think there was a question as to what I was. But I grew up kind of trying to answer that question more and more as I went along. My role model is my grandma, 100%. She is the hardest working, or was the hardest working, most stubborn person you'll ever meet. So grandma was the one that was always pushing and yelling and taking care of me. And so I knew if I needed something, I would just call my grandma. And she made you work hard. And if you did what you were told to do and you didn't do it good enough, you're gonna do it again. She was amazing, and she was so strong-willed. And she said what she thought, even when people didn't want to hear it. And you didn't see a lot of women, at least at that time, speaking their mind. And there was never a time that she wasn't going to speak her mind. And, she's little, but wow, she would scare all the men because they knew that she meant business. And it was such a powerful person to have around you and to have behind you that you felt like there was nothing that you couldn't do as long as grandma supported you in that. What I really wanted to be in high school was a OB nurse. I thought that would be great. You get to work with babies and you get to take care of people, and you get to be there for them, being that person that's there all the time. A doctor comes in and they see you for a few minutes and then they leave, but you can have this nurse there who's going to make a difference. And so that was my ultimate goal growing up, and I actually started school for that, and it didn't work out so well. I maybe made a few mistakes growing up, and right out of high school I ended up getting pregnant. And so I started CBC, ready to go through, and I'm just gonna power through this and I'm gonna do it. My first biology class was, I think, at 8 o'clock at night, and I was pregnant and I had morning sickness. I was tired and I couldn't make it through the class. I went to the counselor at the time, who was a curmudgeonly old white man, and told him, I can't do this, I can't take this class, it's too late, like what do I do now? That man told me, well, you're never gonna be anything. So you can either go and take paralegal classes, or you can go take our secretary classes. I was shocked because I never heard somebody tell me like, you're not gonna be anything now. So I decided to take the paralegal courses, and I went to school for paralegal, and I really enjoyed it. We did a lot of research and reading, and it felt like law school. It wasn't just paralegal school in my mind. And then I ended up getting my first job, and that was with Judge Rodriguez, but just at that point, Norma Rodriguez, she was a defense attorney, and I was working for her, and I was learning, and I was having so much fun, and I kind of had an aptitude for it, and she finally came up to me one day and said, "Why aren't you an attorney?" And I had never even considered that option. It just wasn't even on my radar because I had already been told that you're not gonna get anywhere. So it was a lot of work, but I knew that I could do it, and I had a lot of people counting on me to do it. And my grandparents were very proud at that point. So I did it, and now here I am a judge, never thinking that was gonna happen either, but just did it, and here I am. But the ultimate goal was a defense attorney, and now I'm one up to that. Don't stop. Like, don't stop trying, don't stop working, don't stop picking yourself up, don't stop evaluating where you're at in your life and pushing yourself to do better, because as long as you don't stop whatever it is that you're trying to get to, you're not going to fail. It's when you stop that you fail. So as long as you don't stop, you're gonna be okay, and you're gonna be better than okay, and you're gonna surprise yourself with what you're able to accomplish.